Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Dr. Donna. This is my first time ever doing a YouTube live, and I'm testing it out. I started doing TikTok lives at the beginning of the month because the beginning of the month is my new year. And so now I am seeing which platform I like the best. Currently, it is TikTok. I used to do Instagram lives just briefly back in 2017. And so now I am here seeing what YouTube lives are all about. I've recently launched turnaround tactics, and basically, what a turnaround tactic is, people have plans, and plans don't really work. A tactic is like a strategy, and so it's something where you sit down and you actually have benchmarks and things that you need to gain in order to achieve a goal. And turnaround tactics is all about starting, stopping, or continuing a behavior that will allow you to become your best. I do have all of my videos here stored on YouTube, so there's no need for me to tell you to go to YouTube because this is where we already are. But I started the principles of real leadership back in 2009 when I published my book, but I have been working on them for my entire life. I also developed the theory of personal accountability, which is from U to A to B plus 45 degrees equals your daily. When you combine both of those two together, you get the theory of personal accountability plus real leadership, which allows you to access your best. I have 3 different systems that you can sign up for, but you have to go through RL 365 first. Then you can make it to RL Advanced, and then you can make it to RL Beyond. All of those are 1-year commitments. Turnaround tactic is something quick that you can just get. I give you the answer, you submit. I give you the answer in 24 hours or less, and you start executing those tactics, because I believe that it takes, and not even I believe, I know based upon my history, my experience, I've done training and speaking and everything else. And my research has gotten me to the point where it takes you 365 consecutive days to learn how to be personally accountable. It's going to take you 365 consecutive days to learn how to be personally accountable. And the reason why that is because you need to go through every season for every reason and still hold yourself personally accountable. Now, what is the difference? Accountability are just all the things that you do so you don't get fired, you don't get kicked out of school, and you don't go to jail. But it doesn't make you have the ability to access your best. How you get to best is by honing your skills day in and day out, day in and day out. And then you tell yourself, I am personally accountable for all that I do and all that I fail to do. And as a result of that, you will be able to start accessing your best. You might think you're living your best life now, but you have no idea what's possible when you start looking at personal accountability. Now, there are people, it's an 85 to 90% group of people who have tried and they don't even make it through the first 90 days. And part of the reason that is because of losers in your life. If you have anybody that's draining your energy, that's taking away from you, that's causing you to feel negative and bad, those are what I call losers. And those people stop you from accessing your best. And as a result, when I say 365 days, you go, you out your doggone mind, Dr. Donna. 365 days? Who got 365 days to devote to themselves? And I'm saying you got 365 days to devote to yourself because you deserve to be your best. Adults aren't taught how to hold themselves personally accountable. And so it's only a small select group of people that believe that they can actually access their best. And then everybody else is just ODFing out there flapping. I don't agree with that. And my research has shown that it doesn't matter where you are, after 365 consecutive days, you will be able to hold yourself personally accountable. I talked about on a TikTok live yesterday that people end up having what I call DAPs, DAPs, dumbass plans. And now you've executed this dumbass plan and you're in a precarious situation, and you're trying to figure out why. Why is it not working? And it was because it wasn't a tactical strategy. It wasn't well defined. It wasn't smart. And people use that as old school, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And the example that I used is only in heist movies do we look at, oh my God, it took a year to make this plan to rob this bank or things of that nature. And I'm not saying go and do something illegal, but that's when you start thinking about tactics in the military, being strategic on the field and on the court when you're playing sports. But it doesn't translate into day-to-day life. However, when you focused on being tactical in your day-to-day activities, just like a champion athlete can go for the gold and go for that championship, you can do it in your own life every single day. And the only way that that takes place is when you hold yourself personally accountable for all that you do and all that you fail to do. Everything that I am telling you actually works, but it only works when you don't have any losers in your life. When you start holding yourself personally accountable, losers are going to come and try to hold you back, especially in that first 30 to 60 days, because they know they still have your attention. Along about day 90, that's when you vacillate back and forth. And that's when a lot of people drop out of RO 365 because the losers convince them, you've been doing this for 90 days, it ain't gonna work. But you have 3 more quarters, you get 275 days left. And people just sometimes can't let go of the losers. You can't let go of those familiar relationships because people have said, well, you need family, you need friends. No, you need personally accountable family and friends. So if you have to let go of all of your family and friends and create a new situation where everybody around you is holding themselves personally accountable, that is more advantageous for you than to stay stuck where you are, where you can't access your best. So Turnaround Tactics is available on my website. You go to theturnarounddoctor.com, click on your choices. The first selection on that menu item is Turnaround Tactics. Read it there and decide if you're ready to start, stop, or continue a behavior. And if you're feeling froggy and you're ready to leap and say, take that leap of faith, sign up for RO 365. It is 365 days of personal accountability, but it's not 24 hours a day. You have to go slow to go fast. So it will take you less than 15 minutes each day to do the turnaround tasks that you need to do on any given day in order for you to start holding yourself personally accountable. If you add it all up, it ends up being a couple hours, maybe about 50, 70 hours or something like that over the course of the year, but it is bit by bit. It is brick by brick that you build the foundation for your daily, your daily personal accountability. The only way it's going to happen is if you sign up, if you go to the website, theturnarounddoctor.com, and make those 2 choices. I am going to continue to do my TikTok lives. Like I said, that's the platform that works. I will dip into X and Facebook and Instagram periodically just so that I am addressing the following that I have on those platforms. YouTube is my second largest following. No, I'm sorry, X is and then YouTube. So this is my third largest following. I just like the interaction. I'm partial, a little biased to TikTok because right now that's the platform that I actually interact on the best. But I do believe that there is value on the other platforms too, and people have their individual preferences, which is why I'm on all the platforms. So Turnaround Tactics, it just got launched this month. It's a quick tactic that you can use. You're working on something and you just need a little bit more information, something more robust that you can actually use. And that's one of the foundations. When you start having more tactics, it gives you the strength and the actual wherewithal to be able to start holding yourself personally accountable. And then that's how you enter into RL 365. Now I've been asked, why don't you speak? And why don't you have courses? I used to speak and I used to have courses. And again, my research, I've been researching and putting this together for the last 10 years. And what I have found is that the best way to teach you how to hold yourself accountable, personally accountable, is in 30-day increments via email through social media. And now you're just executing what you need to do. You're executing it because, of course, you're going to leave and go back to your life and you're going to forget about it. And losers are going to come around and start trying to stop you. And then with speaking, that's just 45 minutes and you're done. So RL 365 teaches you how to hold yourself personally accountable because you're rewiring the neural pathways in your brain from unaccountability to accountability to best. And the only way you can do that is one day at a time, 365 days for a whole year, 15 minutes or less a day. That's the process. It is quite simple. It's not easy, but it is simple, to quote Jim Rohn, and it's a very effective way for you to get to best. And not just best in one area of your life, but best. Win the day, every single day, with personal accountability. So that's what this live was about today. I will be back. I can't say when, but I will be back. And in the meantime, you can continue to look at all of the playlists on Turnaround Doctor on YouTube. You can follow me on all the other social media platforms. And when you're ready, when you get a tactic, go to the website, theturnarounddoctor.com, and go ahead and get your tactic together or sign up for RO365 and start accessing personal accountability daily, losing the losers, so you can access your best. Got it? Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch this live. I do value and appreciate that you took the time out to see what was taking place. Thank you again and have a good night, day, or evening, wherever you are located in the world. Adios.